Good evening, good evening. How are you doing? I hope you guys are doing great. My name is Joseph Ngugi. I am one of the co-founders of Pre-PT Grind, which is a pre-physical therapy platform that is meant to help you as a pre-PT get into PT school without wasting time or money. Now, tonight is the first of four really, really good nights. Kyle, what's up, man? Let's see if we can add Kyle on here, and then we'll get this thing started. All right, let's see, Kyle. Let's see if this thing will work well. And then after that, we should be good. We should be good. Kyle, let's see. Lindsay, great to see you on here. Let's see if Kyle will hop on here. If it doesn't work, Kyle, we'll keep playing around with it. If you guys are joining us here live, comment your name below or say hello below. I would love to shout you out as you guys are hopping on here and just call your name out and just say hello. Kyle, how you doing, brother?
There we go. There we go.
Yes,
I hear you,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Can you hear me?
I got you.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. For those of y'all that are joining us here live, just send us, say hello, wave below. We'd love to shout you guys out. But what's up, Carlos? What's up, brother? How you doing? So tonight is, man, I've been really excited for this week for some time. Like we were talking about this week, man. We were talking about this week about 2 months ago, Kyle. We were talking about doing this mainly because there are so many students that are currently struggling with the GRE. What's up, Joe? How you doing? Great to see you all. Hunter, great to see you. Ali, great to see you. Lindsay, great to see you. Those of y'all that are joining us on replay as well, great to have you here. And so tonight is a very special night. We'll explain that in just a little bit. But tonight, we're trying to help y'all crush your GRE exam. That is one of the main roadblocks for students when they are applying to PT school, right? And not just PT school, but since this is the pre-doctor of physical therapy students page, since this is pre-PT grind, we're going to take care of y'all. So tonight, tonight we're going to go really deep. But before we do that, I want to know who's currently preparing to take the GRE. So if you are currently preparing to take the GRE, whether it's your first time, whether it's your second time, I want you to comment GRE below. Comment GRE below. If you are preparing, you're like, man, Kyle, Joseph, I'm planning on doing this thing in the next few weeks. I have the exam tomorrow or this weekend. If you are planning on taking it, or you haven't even like thought about it, and you're like, hey, this is something I might do next spring or next summer, like just comment GRE below because we want to take care of y'all this week really, really well. Carlos, you're in the right place. Brandon, great to see you. So for those of y'all that don't know, this is Dr. Kyle Rice. Kyle is the creator of the PT Hustle. Here's why we brought Kyle in. Kelsey, you are in the right place, my friend. The reason why we brought Kyle in is because Kyle in the PT world is the best when it comes to standardized exams. It's that simple. He's a humble man, but I'm very okay with bragging about people, right? Alex, how you doing? Zacchaeus, how you doing? And so Kyle is the best in the in the PT world when it comes to standardized exams. And he'll tell you more on his story, but he's dealt with a lot. He's dealt with a lot. Failing what, 13 standardized exams?
13, yeah, 13 big ones.
13 massive ones. And his journey to ultimately getting to where when he took his PT board exam. What's up, Anthony? When he took his PT board exam, which is the final exam you guys have to take when y'all get into PT school and you're ready to graduate and, make some money, he got a perfect score on that. So failing 13 exams, y'all might have failed 2 GRE tests. Y'all might have failed 4. Y'all might have failed it 5 times. This man failed 13 standardized exams. And so a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about this week are things that Kyle realized, we're not being taught this properly. Like, raise your hand. Give me a little hand emoji real quick. If whether it's the GRE or any standardized exam you've taken, and you're like, you can remember studying your butt off. Like, you remember looking through the book multiple times. You did practice problems. You took, classes on campus. I remember I used to have a GRE prep course at Andrews University. That's where I graduated from. And it's still just doesn't feel like it's falling in place. You get to the exam day and you're freaking out. You get to the exam day and it feels like, man, like I blanked out. Like I took the exam and I just blanked. Like I don't know what happened. I thought I prepared well. I studied for the last 4 months. I studied for the last 5 months. I studied for the last 6 months, 2 months, 3 months. And like, how many of y'all have ever felt defeated in that moment?
Yep.
Just give me a little hand emoji. I'm gonna let y'all know this. So we're both teachers, right? But the beautiful thing about being a teacher is usually you don't, the stuff you're teaching, you've already kind of accomplished, right? So we want to make sure y'all are taken care of. And as you guys are listening, we want to know, like, are we talking to the right people tonight? So as y'all are listening, if you're like, ooh, that's me, just let us know. So give a little hand emoji. Zacchaeus, let's go. So if you guys have ever felt that, just defeated, it's like, man, Kyle, I'm trying everything, man. Like, I don't get, like, you know what, Kyle? Maybe I'm just not good at it. Maybe I'm just not good at it. Maybe I just can't do well on standardized exams. Maybe it's not my thing. Like, it doesn't matter how hard I try. Maybe it's just not meant for me. See, Carlos has felt that. And those are the moments, and this is why what we're about to talk about tonight is so important. Y'all, listen, if you guys have notes, a notebook, something you could pull out and say, hey, I got something to write on, like, I would highly suggest you do that. What's up, Judy? How you doing, Christopher? Great to have you all here tonight. But the reason is we have all felt defeated. I have felt defeated. Kyle has felt defeated 13 times, for crying out loud. And in those moments, we usually have a few different options. We feel like, well, should I quit? I actually saw that multiple times in this group where someone posted, hey, I took the GRE. Yeah, so I took the GRE last year and did worse this time than last year. Oh, Zacchaeus, we're getting to it. And that's unfortunately, that's just so common. But the reasons why that happens are not the reasons that, like, we're told. They're not the reasons that we actually work on. So what ends up happening is we try to do the same thing we did before, and then we get disappointed more and more and more. So y'all, Zacchaeus, you're in the right place, man. Tonight's your night. Because as Kyle will tell y'all, listen, this week, I'm letting Kyle do the teaching. I'm just setting it up. But Kyle, you can talk about this from experience. Kyle, at some point tonight, I would love for you to tell your story of retaking your MCAT over and over and over, and just what that process was like, because Zacchaeus just hit it. When you're taking a test and you're working harder for it, it should be like, it should make sense that the more I work on it, the more I apply, the more knowledge I have, the better I should be doing. But is that really the case, Kyle?
That is not the case.
All right. So let's start from the beginning.
Let's
start from the beginning. If y'all are ready for tonight, if y'all are ready for what we're about to share, because we're about to go deep right now. If y'all are ready for it, comment ready. Kyle, you ready, man? You ready?
I'm ready, brother. I'm ready. This is deep. It's deep. It's deep stuff. It really is, man. It's deep.
And this is, oh my goodness, this is so important. So if you guys are ready, if y'all are like, hey, okay, I'm ready. Whatever y'all are about to share, because you have to realize this is why a group like this exists. Because a lot of the stuff you think you're going through alone, so many other people are going through the same thing. So many students are taking the GRE and saying, yo, why am I getting a lower score the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time? Why? Like, is it just, you know what? Like, can I even apply to PT school? Will I handle it? Will I survive it? Will I survive it? Will I hit the end of my academic? Like, will I get into PT school and then have to face this board exam at the end where I face the same problems over and over? And now I'm going to spend so much time and money going through PT school and applying it. And then ultimately, like, will I just not be able to practice as a PT? Because I won't be able to, Kyle, you deal with this all the time. So let's go from the beginning. Jimmy says he's ready. Zacchaeus says he's ready. If y'all are ready, then let's get it. Kyle, let's start from the beginning because this is where I want us to start this week. And then y'all that are watching this live or on replay, I need y'all to be here every single night this week. If you miss it, watch the replay. Watch the replay. Because tonight, tomorrow, Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to take care of y'all. Every night we have a gift for you. And then we have something else that will actually help you start to put this stuff to action so y'all can actually crush the GRE. Is that cool with y'all? Is that cool? Perfect. All right, Kyle.
Cool with me. Cool.
Take it over, brother.
Let's
go ahead. Start from the top, boss. Like, for a student that is stuck right now and is saying, Kyle, how in the world? Like, I don't get it. Same thing Zacchaeus was saying. Like, how? Like, I'm putting in so much work. Whether it's my first time, whether it's my second time, I gave myself time, Kyle. I gave myself time to study. I gave myself time to, like, you know, I bought the book. I looked through it. It's been 3 months. It's been 4 months. It's been 5 months. It's been a year. It's been 6 months. I've taken time to actually do it, and it's not working. It's not working. I'm not getting the score I want. Talk to us about what that actually means. What have we been told that's actually incorrect? And how can we actually start, like, taking steps towards absolutely dominating the GRE regardless of who we are?
You know, how's the sound? We got to make sure that the sound's right.
I hear you loud and clear, boss.
Crystal? All right. So first thing I got to ask you all right now, is, were you taught the same things that I was taught? And what I mean by that is, when I came up through school, I don't know where y'all are from. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, but I spent a lot of time in Florida. Came up through elementary, middle school, all those good things, you know, in Florida. And the one thing that I was taught was, pretty much, if you didn't do well in a class, it was because what? You weren't smart enough, or you didn't study hard enough, or you just weren't one of the chosen students, you know, that just had it like that. I mean, for whatever it was, it came down to your intelligence overall. So if you ever failed an exam, what was taught to me, I don't know if it was taught to you, but what was taught to me is, you need to study harder. You need to work harder. And so how many of you all were taught that, and you learned that, and then every single time that you got a score, failed an exam or whatnot, you tried to work even harder, right? Yeah. You started to put more effort in. Am I right? I mean, that's what our response is. So here's the thing. All over these years, elementary, middle school, high school, going into undergrad, my perspective was, shoot, if I fail an exam, or if I'm not doing as well as my peers, the people around me are, that must mean that I'm not smart enough and I just need to work harder. That's what it all came down to. And, you know, when I couldn't do well on the SATs, I took the SATs multiple times, the ACTs multiple times. And the one problem that I was having was, I was in the bottom 10% of all the testers for that. So it was keeping me from going to high school. But what was the thought process that was in my mind? I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't good enough. All my friends that were going to the big name universities, they were better than me. And so what did I start to do, y'all? Because I know some of y'all feel like you're on an island by yourself. But at that time in my life, you know, I wasn't very strong. And so what I did was, I felt like, you know, everybody else was better than me. And what did I need to do to level the playing field? I needed to start lying and being like everybody else. So, I got into the big name schools too, knowing I was not getting into any big name school. Nobody accepted your boy. No. But I was going around to all my friends like, oh yeah, I got to the big name University of Florida, all this stuff. Hold on, Joseph. It got so bad that I was trying to put on this facade that I literally got my dad's, like, Letterman jacket with the big F on it. Yeah, took it out his closet. Bro, I did. I took it out his closet, put it on, went to school. For the rest of the week, I was taking it and just walking around like, yeah, you know, I'm going there, you know, knowing damn well that school wouldn't even look at my application with my SAT score. But why was I doing it? I was doing it for acceptance. And lying to everybody, the price of lying to everybody was worth the feeling of being accepted by everybody. And so I kept buying into this idea, though. What was I truly buying into? I was buying into the idea of acceptance, that I needed to be accepted, but I was also buying into the idea that I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I have to work harder than everybody else. So let me ask y'all a quick question. How many of y'all feel that there are people around you that don't have to work as hard as you, but they get better scores than you? How many?
I'm gonna just
How
raise
many
my
of y'all
hand.
have that? Yeah. Okay.
Yo, comment below.
All right. Comment down
little.
below. How many of y'all feel like you look around and you're like, man, this guy didn't even study, or this girl didn't even study as much as me, didn't put anywhere near the amount of time, and they got a perfect score on their exam. They got 100, or they got a 98, or they got 95 on that test. How many of y'all feel like that? How many of you feel, hold on, write this down now, put me in the comment box right now. If you feel like you have to work 10 times as hard as the person sitting next to you in order to get the same score that they got, and probably not even get that score. How many of y'all feel like that? Because I bought into the idea. I bought into the idea that if you get a bad score on an exam, that must mean that you're not smart enough or you're not working as hard as everyone else. I bought into the idea, right? So I had that same idea going into undergrad. And then, when I got into undergrad, since I still was going after the acceptance thing, Joseph, you know what I did? So I went to Florida A&M University, and I'm a proud Rattler. But while I was there, I started to give into the idea of I wanted to become an orthopedic surgeon. But I wanted to become an orthopedic surgeon. Why? Not because I was truly passionate about it, but because of why. Why do y'all think? Man, why do you think I really wanted to become an orthopedic surgeon? You think I really loved it? No, that wasn't the reason. I wanted to have that because I knew that orthopedic surgeons were respected. I knew they were accepted.
Acceptance, still. Status.
Still accepted. Status, right? And so I was still buying into the hype of acceptance, right? What was I also buying into the hype of? Well, you gotta work hard. You gotta work hard. So I was doing as best I could do in all my classes, putting in all this effort, tutoring everybody. But then there's an exam that you got to take to get into medical school. How many of y'all know that? Some of y'all may have been pre-med before. Maybe you heard about it. It's called the MCAT. So I had to take the MCAT. Took it the first time, failed it. Well, I mean, you don't really fail it. You just get a non-competitive score. But let me tell you what my score was, though. So I was, again, in that bottom 10% of all people who took that exam. And so I was like, well, dang, okay, I'll just study harder. I must not just be smart enough as everybody else. So let me just study harder. Took it a second time. Got 1 point higher. Still about 10 total points away from where I would ever need to be, right? Then at that very time, one of my good friends, Andrew Hayden, guess what he got on his exam? Perfect score on his MCAT. One of my good friends that I was studying with, and I was tutoring him on chemistry and physics. And this guy got a perfect score. Ready to go to medical school. So then I'm like, man, I bought into the hype again. I'm not smart enough. Got to work harder. So I just kept doing it over and over, y'all. Here's the one thing that's a little sad about the story. I didn't fail it, not a third time, not a fourth time, but 5 total times, back to back to back, getting 1 point higher, then 2 points less, then 1 point again a little bit higher. So it was back and forth and back and forth. And so at the end of all this, I want you all to really think about this story and how this resonates with you, your personal story, because I literally got to the point where I was living back in my childhood home. I had to leave undergrad because not only did I already graduate, but I couldn't just be forking out a bunch of money for an apartment and have no job. So I moved back in with my mom. And now I'm in my childhood bedroom, laying down on the bed, one of the days I'll remember like no other, and looking up at the glow-in-the-dark stars that I had on my ceiling when I was a child. Come on, man. I mean, you got all your friends, they're either getting married, having kids, going to grad school, having a job, and I'm sitting here laying in bed looking at my goddamn glow-in-the-dark
childhood stars.
Yeah.
Man.
In my mom's house. So got to a really, really hurtful, time in my life, but like you were saying, and we'll continue with this story as we move throughout the week. But one of the things I figured out, because Joseph, you said it, when I got to PT school, I did what was needed to be done. And I'll talk to you all about the rest of that story, later on in the week, but I got a perfect score on the MPTE. But what was one of the things that I figured out? Well, one of the things I figured out was that I was buying into the hype of acceptance, right? But the other thing I figured out was, even if you are the smartest out of the bunch, even if you have all of the knowledge and all the application skill, if you have some other things that are impacting your score, it may cause you to fail. Like literally, you are the smartest person. You could get a perfect score, the perfect GRE score, and have all the knowledge to do that. But if you're missing a few key elements, or if there's a few key elements that are bothering with you, it could ruin your score. So what I'm here to tell you all tonight is that I don't care what review course that you've taken, Kaplan, whether you've done Magoosh, whether you've been in school and your faculty members are helping you out with GRE, they have left out some critical components you've been lied to since you were young. You've been lied to because they've told you that, you're just not smart enough if you don't get an A. You're just not smart enough if you're not getting the top scores or whatnot. If you fail an exam, you didn't work as hard as everybody else. You got to work harder. You got to be smarter. You've been taught that. Tell me I'm wrong right now. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay, so here's the deal. Let me let you in on a little secret that they haven't told you. They haven't told you that if you are having anxiety, all right, this word that sometimes a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, I have a little anxiety, my stomach bothers me, my heart pounds a little bit when I'm about to take a test. They think that, that doesn't mess with their score. But like I said, someone who has all the knowledge and application, if they have anxiety too, do you know that they can completely wipe out your score? Not only make you stagnant, but actually drop your score significantly. Not only keep you stagnant, but it'll make your score jump up a couple points sometimes and it drop. And then jump up a couple points and then drop again. And then you're kind of like, what the heck is going on? Like, how is this happening? And it's because it's not your knowledge. It's not your effort. It's not your application. But there's these extra things that no one wants to talk to you about. Why? Because in the United States, mental health is this weird, like shameful judgment. Like, oh, wait, you have anxiety? Oh, wait, you have bipolar or some mental health problem? Oh, man. And they try to write you off. Nobody wants to actually talk to you about it and help you with it. Right? How many times have you been told that anxiety can be a reason why your score is fluctuating up and down? How many times in your GRE review course did they talk to you about anxiety and how to find out if you have it and how to fix it? How many times? Y'all put it down in the comment box right now. How many times in your GRE review course did they say, wait, hold on, let's do this assessment and see if you have anxiety. And if you're having it, let's figure out the ways to fix it, because anxiety, it could be the reason why your score is staying exactly the same or even dropping lower than what you should be getting. How many of y'all have been told that? Not many, right? Okay, well, I'm here to tell you right now that not have I only had countless students who were just not getting the scores that they felt like they deserved on their exams. But as soon as we fixed their anxiety, their scores jumped up dramatically. That as soon as we were able to level the playing field, now they were getting higher scores than all of their friends combined. But here's the deal. Doesn't that make sense though? You were the one that was studying the hardest. You were the one that was tutoring everybody.
Tell them.
You were the one.
Tell them.
You were the one that was putting in all the time while the other people were just going to the parties. Don't you deserve to have a higher score? You deserve it. Right? It makes sense. But now what we need to do is we need to level the playing field by taking off this whole anxiety that's weighing you down. It's the only difference. So one last thing I want to say to you about this is, when you look to those people who are doing well on exams, like doing exceptionally well, and they seem like they're not really studying very much, look at them really quick and ask yourself, do they have like a lot of anxiety, you think? Do they seem nervous when they go into the exam, or do they seem pretty like calm, collected? I'll just take this thing, right? How do they really seem? Because I bet you when you like really think about those people, you're like, yeah, actually that is right. They are kind of calm when they go into the exam. So you mean to tell me that anxiety is probably not influencing them like it's influencing you? There's a difference. So what happens when we take the chains off? What happens when we take all that luggage that you're carrying and we dump it to the side and actually see how fast you can run now? Don't you think that you'll be able to run a lot faster than the rest of them? Because, again, you've been working a lot harder, putting in a lot more time, no more, tutor everyone else in it. I mean, come on. It just makes sense. So tonight was about showing you not just my story, but helping you to see, like, you know what? Maybe I am smart enough. Maybe I do know enough, but there's some other things that I just haven't addressed, and it's not your fault. And it's not your fault because you were never trained that there was something else to address. I really believe you would have done it. You would have addressed your anxiety, but you were never even told that that was a problem. You were told since you were younger that the reasons why you are not successful is because you're not smart enough, you don't know enough, or you're not working hard enough. Those are the three that you were taught. And I'm here to tell you that, yeah, that's part of the puzzle. But there's a lot of other things that are addressing whether your score goes up or down, and anxiety is a big one of them. How is that? I mean, Joseph, is this making sense?
Oh, man, it makes perfect sense. Here's the thing. I think a lot of times, I actually had this conversation with a student yesterday. Y'all, I don't think y'all realize like how accurate this is. And this is why this week we're going in. And we're also giving y'all gifts. And if y'all hold on, we'll tell you what tonight's is. And it's going to help you start not only like self-analyzing and saying, oh, this is where I really am, but also having a blueprint for how to actually conquer all this stuff. So we're going to take good care of y'all. But the biggest thing is I was talking to a student, Kyle, and we were kind of breaking it down and talking about like why, especially like, so I come from a culture, right? Like, because I'm from East Africa, y'all. Side note, it was a phenomenal weekend for the Kenyans with our marathon running. You know what I'm saying? Just take. If y'all didn't see that, first man got a marathon in under 2 hours, and he was Kenyan. And then the next day, a female runner who's also Kenyan beat the previous world record for the marathon set by another lady 16 years ago. So y'all, Kenyans are winning this weekend. But yo, real talk, man. But one thing is that like for my culture, mental health, anxiety, a lot of those things are very hush hush, and a lot of those same beliefs that it's like, especially when you're not feeling it or you don't think you're feeling it, it's like anxiety, come on, like it can't be that big a deal. Or like mental health is so real. Like, can I be honest with y'all? Like I actually, so even tonight, y'all, I'm not gonna tell y'all the details or nothing, but there's actually something like I'm currently like processing right now, and I low-key had an anxiety attack like in my car after work tonight. Like, y'all, this is not even like, I'm not saying this as if it's something that you just overcome, but you have to understand that it affects everything you do. Y'all realize what anxiety is, right? Like anxiety is like our belief that the worst possible scenario is bound to happen. So when I'm taking the GRE and I believe, y'all, like there's no possible way, y'all, at least like this is stuff that's like subconscious half the time, right? But it's this belief, like this, man, I'm probably just gonna retake it and it's just not gonna go the way I want it to go. Like, Kyle, you know what, man? Okay, I'm gonna do this, Kyle. I'm gonna study for the next 2.5 months for this GRE. But man, something just tells me it's not gonna go well. Something just tells me. Kyle, you know what? I've taken this exam two times. Something tells me that like if the last 2 times it didn't go well, then what makes the third time different? So you know what? There's a good chance I'm gonna put in the work because they said to me, they were like, hey, I mean, because I've been told that I gotta work hard. Maybe I wasn't working hard enough. Maybe I'm quitting too early. Okay, maybe I wasn't working hard enough. So let me do it again. But I can almost guarantee you that it's probably not going to go so well. You know what? Because I don't really think I'm good at standardized exams. I don't think this is what I'm cut out for. I really don't. So that's what we play in our minds. So what happens is when we see the worst possible scenario happening, we start acting like it. So how do we act like it, Kyle? Well, we're studying, right? Yo, listen, brother. Listen. So you're studying. Whatever, and trust me, the way y'all are studying is also incorrect, but we'll talk about that later this week. That's not, we got y'all. But let's say you're studying. Because you're so because internally, you're freaking out. You're like every time you look at it, you panic to the point where, y'all ever done this? You actually go to the areas that you already know and you start studying those because they make you feel like you're actually studying something. And because that area that you already know, it might be part of the quantitative section, certain problems that you're like, you know what? I'm pretty okay with these. Let me brush up on them. So you go there and you spend an hour doing it. It makes you feel a little better because, well, I studied the area that I was a little rusty on, so I sharpened up on it. And all you wanted was a little like tap in the back, a self-tap in the back telling you, hey, I studied. But then you go to the areas that you don't know, the areas that are giving you a hard time, and all of a sudden you actually start avoiding them. Because you start saying, oh my goodness, that's a reminder of the fact that I might not be as ready as I thought. And remember, I thought that the worst case scenario is bound to happen. And oh my, okay, shut the book. I might try again tomorrow. It actually affects how you study. It affects how you prepare. So what happens is you might study for 2 months. You might study for 3 months. You might study for 4 months. You go to the exam saying, yo, I've studied all this time. I'm bound to crush it. And then you actually get rocked by it. And you're like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe I'm not good. Like, you see what happens? It's a cycle that you build. And if y'all don't take this as like a real fact, this is not some hogwash stuff. This is the very reason why when you take it over, Kyle just said it, when you're taking it over and over, you're getting either the same score or it's not going up too much or it's actually getting worse. It's because of this cycle and we all go through it. But if you don't, if us talking right now is the first time you're even considering it for yourself, well, we've missed something massive. And the gift we have for y'all tonight is actually going to be important for you especially. Because if you're not seeing that, then you have no idea how to actually navigate through it. You have no idea how to handle it. And all of a sudden, there's a reason why I'm still, after having my anxiety attack, literally less than 2 hours ago, there's a reason why I'm still able to come on this live stream and absolutely crush it. Because I know how to handle that. Does that make sense? Y'all, this stuff is real. I'm not talking about something that happened. I had one 2 hours ago, y'all. I'm being so serious, man. I was in my car, chest is getting heavy. Y'all, it's the real deal. It's the real deal. And if you guys don't understand that and understand, okay, how do I actually assess that? How do I figure out what things are triggering that? How do I figure out if I even have it or not? Actually, you know what I want you guys to do? The people that are live right now, I want y'all to comment this below. GREanxietyhacks.com. Comment that below. Everybody who's watching this live, everybody who's watching this on replay, I want you to go to that link right after this. So don't leave yet. Don't be saying, oh, okay, I'm out. Okay, comment GREanxietyhacks.com. No, energy drinks and caffeine don't help either, Wes. Yo, they definitely don't help. So comment GREanxietyhacks.com. Y'all, this is your first step to getting control of this. Because if this is the cycle you have seen, then the honest truth is, whether you've been told or not, this is a major block that we have to take care of if you want to go back and absolutely dominate the GRE. The fact that Kyle deals with students, right? And he'll tell you more about this. Kyle deals with students who, when they're done with their schooling, which pretty much means that the only thing between them getting a job as a physical therapist and them having this 6 figures plus, debt pile, all their loans and all that stuff. They have all this debt, all these loans, all this work. They've actually passed where you guys are right now. They've gotten into PT school. They've put in the work. They've sacrificed only to have this one exam that dictates whether or not they can actually practice. And they actually go into it. And what's happening is they go into it and they're like, oh my goodness, Kyle, I didn't pass it the first time. I didn't pass it the second time. I only have a certain amount of taste, Kyle. I'm starting to freak out. And Kyle, right now in the US, right. Kyle is the last stop when it comes to standardized exams. He's the guy they go to when they're like, yo, I've tried everything else, bro. Help me out. And one of the first things he has to take care of is this. Y'all, he sees this all the time. We see this all the time with our students. And this is where we have to, y'all, pre-PTs have to change how we do. Like, this is not about just doing a week-long series. This is about changing how y'all prepare and and dominate this exam as a whole, because it's actually limiting y'all too much. Like, I'm having way too many students that are telling me, hey man, I'm thinking of not applying this cycle because my GRE score wasn't as high as I wanted to. I'm thinking of pushing it to next year. Next year comes, hey Joseph, I thought I was going to apply this year, but I don't think it's going to happen. You know what? I'm thinking of doing a master's. I'm thinking of doing this. I think I'm going to take a back seat. Like, y'all, it's dictating whether or not y'all can get the degree you want, whether or not y'all can get in the profession you want. And if we're not talking about the real things that are holding us back, then what are we really doing? If we can't actually talk about the real thing, y'all, these are the real stuff. If we can't talk about them, then what are we really doing? Are we just talking to ourselves? Are we just making ourselves feel good and just say, hey man, yeah, just try again, try again. Well, listen, yes, try again, but try again the right way. Because if we keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're expecting a different result and you just ain't getting it. That's what we call insanity, y'all. And we're trying to take that away from you. So go to greanxietyhacks.com. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this on replay, that's where our gift is to y'all. Tonight, we want to help y'all analyze this bit. And then tell you what, on top of that, after you do that, there will be a video that y'all will see where we will show y'all how to start taking the big steps towards absolutely dominating the GRE. Y'all, we're trying to take care of y'all the real way. We're trying to take care of y'all step by step by step. Because I'm tired. Honestly, Kyle, I'm actually tired of pre-PTs having to put their careers on the side because of one examination, because of one 5-hour block that is holding most of us back from actually getting into the schools we want to. Like, period. I'm actually tired of it, bro. So if y'all are like, hey, I'm willing to do whatever I need to do to absolutely knock this thing out of the ballpark, then I want y'all to comment me. If y'all are like, yo, I'm ready, just comment me, because I want to know who's ready this week to go step by step and absolutely crush these mountains and make sure that y'all absolutely dominate the GRE, because things like anxiety and everything else we're going to share with y'all this week are holding you back. They're holding everybody. And if we don't even respect it, if we look at it and we're like, nah, that's probably not me. Nah, I think it's just studying more. Well, you've been deceived. You have been deceived. And it's exactly what we've been taught in school. It's exactly why so many students are so frustrated. Like, y'all, listen, when you're seeing stuff happen over and over, there's usually a reason, right? Like, if I'm watching a basketball team, right, and I'm seeing, like, every time they play a game, they're always losing by 20 points. Kyle, is that coincidence? Absolutely not. Come on now. If a basketball team is always losing by 20 points, it means something's off. It either means your coaching sucks. It means the players don't know what they're doing. They're not disciplined. You don't have enough talent. Something is off. And so, but at the end of the day, something needs to be fixed. And we're seeing this over and over. It's a broken machine, y'all. And we're seeing this over and over with the GRE. It's broken. And we're saying, yo, these are the pieces that were missed. How can we help y'all put them together? And this is the first big one. If we can't handle this one, y'all, listen. Everything else, I don't care how many times you do your practice problems. I don't care how many repetitions you take. If we don't knock this out, yo, you might actually have a tough time.
Stuck.
You might be stuck. And I don't want y'all to be. Kyle doesn't want y'all to be. Does that make sense? Kyle, what are your thoughts, boss?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I just want to challenge the system really quick. Can I challenge the system real quick? So how many of you, and Joseph, you same question, have heard that, you know, like how you do on something like the GRE, the like can determine how you do at the next level. So a lot of times, I know in my schooling, I heard like, oh man, you know, if you get a certain score on the GRE, then that means that you're probably not going to be successful in that next level. Hold on. So MCAT, same exact thing. When we were taking the MCAT, one of the things is, well, if you don't get a good score on the MCAT, that means that you probably wouldn't do very well in medical school. This is a big thing. How many of y'all have heard something like that? I know I'm not the only one. Yeah, like if you didn't do well on your SAT and the ACT, that means that you're probably not going to do that well in undergrad. And you're definitely not going to be that well at like, if you're not able to do the ACT and the SAT well, you're probably not going to do well on the GMAT or the GRE or the MCAT or any of those other ones. Like that's what we're taught, right? And so that's what a lot of faculty members, who's ever been guiding you, a lot of admissions advisors, they'll tell you the same thing. They'll say, yeah, well, the reason why we don't let, people with this level of a GRE score in or MCAT score is because, they don't tend to do as well, right? They may not be able to make it. Here's the deal. Have I not am I not the exact example of why that is not the case? And how many other students have, not done the best on the GRE, gotten into PT school, did exceptionally well, and are the best PTs that there are out there now? So here's the thing that I'm trying to tell you all, is that there has been plenty of people who have not done so well on the GRE and then wind up crushing the rest of their career, academically and professionally. So we have to look at, well, what is the drawback? Even with the drawback with me, how was I failing 13 straight standardized exams and they got a perfect score on a random last one that I took? Like, how is that able to happen? Well, I'll tell you. I stopped worrying so much about the knowledge and application stuff because I was used to putting in a lot of effort. Just like you all, you're used to putting in all the effort. It's just not happening. What I did was I start focusing on the other things that may be affecting the score. One of my main ones, anxiety. Fix that, and then now I'm able to get this dramatic score change, level the playing field, and now we're looking at me in comparison to a lot of my peers, and now I'm superior to them when it comes to standardized test taking. Why? Because I was able to fix those key factors that were influencing me. And now, tonight, we are giving you an opportunity. If you're very scared of anxiety because you're like, yeah, well, I don't even know what to do about it. I don't know the first steps. Well, we are giving you those first steps right now. We're actually trying to break the system and show people that you can do something about your score. You can elevate, but we need to go after the anxiety. All right, especially if you have it and you feel like it's influencing you. So that's the GREanxietyhacks.com that we just gave you. That's the first step to solving this problem and then getting that dramatic score change that you deserve on the GRE. I mean, that's my 2 cents, Joseph.
It's that simple. So if you guys are joining us right now, y'all might want to watch this replay, because we laid it out pretty well. So y'all might want to watch this replay. Yeah. But go to GREanxietyhacks.com. That's the first step after tonight. Y'all, every single night we're giving you something. Tonight it's GREanxietyhacks.com. It's already set up for you. It's ready for you. You got the goods. You can have access to it starting right now. And then if you guys want to be tagged in the trainings this week, if y'all like, hey, I want to stay on these live streams because whatever they're going to give me this week, y'all, this is just a warm up. We got so much good stuff for y'all.
Such a warm up, man. Oh my
if y'all
God.
want to be tagged in this week's trainings, comment tag me below, and we'll make sure that every single training this week, we continue to tag you guys. So comment tag me. If you guys comment that, then we'll make sure that tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and we might even do on Friday night, but we don't know yet. But at least for those first few nights up until Thursday night, comment tag me below, and we'll make sure that you are tagged so that you're a lock for everything we're trying to give y'all this week. Mm-hmm. But tonight, the homework is go to GREanxietyhacks.com. GREanxietyhacks.com. That is the first step. Let's freaking get it, Warren. Cash, great to see you. Jessica, looking forward to seeing you on the trainings. Carlos, great to see you. Sarianni, what's up? Gabby, great to see you. Zacchaeus, Elijah, Wes Curry. Yo, that's a good name. Yo, listen, Wes Curry is a cool cat, man. Larry, great to see all y'all. So just comment, tag me below. Zacchaeus, perfect. We will take care of y'all. Wes, let's freaking get it. Like, we'll take care of y'all this week. Judy, great to see you, my friend. But we want to make sure y'all got everything. Listen, y'all see, we borderline like voice is getting tired. You know what I mean? It's because we're trying to give you everything. We're trying to give you everything.
That's right.
This is what pre-PT grind and the PT hustle, which is Kyle's business, stand for. Like, we want to just max out on everything. And the honest truth is, we do things very differently from like the establishment and school and everything you've been taught, because a lot of that is the old way of doing everything. And that's why most of y'all struggle. So we're trying to show y'all the real ways. Let's talk about the hard conversations. Let's break it down step by step by step. So y'all have no choice but to absolutely dominate. Is that cool? Is that cool?
That's it. I'm in there.
Let's get it. So we'll see y'all tomorrow night. Go to GREanxietyhacks.com tonight. Get started. Let's get the party popping. Tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. See you right here. Have a blessed rest of your evening. Tag as many friends as y'all can. People that are in this group, tag them. Be like, yo, you need to watch this video. You need to watch this video. Let's freaking get it. GREanxietyhacks.com. Y'all have a blessed rest of your Monday. Much love. Bye.
Peace out, brother.